All right, so this week in Pax Day, we got a bunch of updates with regards to community, anything from changing how you can get recruited or do recruitment for your clan in the official Discord, all the way to community champions and community initiatives getting the first spotlights from the developers over at Mainframe on the official Discord. We're going to talk about all of that and a little bit more. So hello and welcome back, all of you amazingly professional consumers of Pax Day and Pax Day related content out there. I'm Altari, the professional gamer, and this is another episode of the Pax Friday Review, the show where we talk about all the fun, interesting, new, and exciting information that has dropped for Pax Day over the last week. Like I said, this week, mostly community-related updates. We didn't have much in terms of Verse 5 announcements, but I do believe that that is going to be coming probably in the next couple of days, if not week. I look forward to covering more of that, but for today, we're going to be talking mostly about updates for the community on various things, including things like community champions and certain players who have been really helpful to beginners and just the general Discord community being recognized by Mainframe for all of the work that they do, which is really, really cool that the devs are taking the time to recognize that and even give special Discord roles for those people. But they're also planning on featuring a lot of different clans and the various initiatives that they have too. So we're going to talk about all of that today, as well as they did this really interesting why we build post as well. So we'll talk about that as well. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe so you can get notified whenever we come out with new Pax Day or Pax Day related content, and share this video with any of your friends who are looking to stay up to date with Pax Day related things. Like I said, we are going to head over to Pax Day's official Discord to cover everything that came out for this week, and I will see you over there. All right, and here we are on Pax Day's official Discord. And the first thing I was going to talk about for today is the clan recruitment changes coming up in Discord. So the official Discord's going to be changing a little bit when it comes to clan recruitment. They're doing away with the old kind of just regional versions of recruitment, and they're being replaced with now specifically shard explicit channels for recruitment instead. So definitely go and check that out. If you are looking for a clan, you can also go and check it out based on the shard specific instead of just NA or EU or Southeast Asia. Instead, you'd be able to look at the specific server that you're on. So definitely go and check that out if you are looking for a clan. But then we had this really cool thing come up earlier in the week, and it's specifically the community champions program. So all this really is for specific players who have been nominated throughout the Pax Day community for basically just being passionate about the game and willing to help players out. And I think this is more specifically in the Discord and just being a useful resource for them. So they aren't moderators or have any special powers. They're just being recognized. And in fact, you can see some of them on the screen right now. But basically, they are being primarily picked by the community team, and the community can suggest or nominate some of these individuals. And then they're going to get a special Discord role and an icon associated with them, which I find to be pretty cool. But other than that, we actually got the announcements for them as well down here. So Musubi, Shalimar, Phoenix, Elator, Demanta, Farrand, and Julinal. Actually, many of these players are also friends of the community and friends of specifically our community here on the channel. And it's great to see all of them getting recognized for all of the work that they do in the general Pax Day community. And I mean, some of these people, I pay attention to everything that goes on the general Discord, but these individuals are not only paying attention, but they're also constantly talking and engaging with people in the various channels here. And there's not a day where you don't see one of these individuals doing it. Phoenix is incredible with all of the work that he's done over the many years, tabulating all of this stuff together. And I know Shalimar, Elator, Farron, most of these individuals are spending a lot of time and put in a lot of work to help new players out and to welcome them into the community. So personally, thank you all for doing that work as well. It's critical for our community to continue to grow and develop, and the work you do is insane. So that was one of the things that came out this week, was this Community Champions program. But then in addition to that, the developers over at Mainframe, they're also looking for us to share community initiatives. So this in particular is different. It's not highlighting anything in particular of like what a clan is, but more of what a clan is doing or what a community is doing. And this is going to be a weekly community highlight series where they're really interested in what in-game community event fairs, rituals, tournaments, celebrations are being held by the community. They're looking for creative ways of welcoming new players and how you get new members set up. It could also be shared resources or education for newcomers, cross-clan cooperation, open markets, trade corridors, alliances, role-play events, and also acts of diplomacy, hospitality, or mentorship. And these are all things that you can basically submit to them, and you can do that by sending a DM to contact the team on the official Discord, and they will be able to receive that input and then make a consideration for the community initiatives highlight for the official Discord. Now, in order to submit, all you have to do is really just share the clan and alderman's name, what region, shard, province, and home valley they're in, a short description of the initiative, and then you can also share 2 to 3 images or screenshots, or a short video with a YouTube or Twitch clip if you have them, and how players can also reach and contact you. So pretty straightforward and easy to do. Hopefully at one point you'll see some of the Golden City or the Golden Company being featured in here as well, but there are so many other groups out there that are doing so many cool things, and it's really good that the developers over at Mainframe are putting in that effort to highlight all of the hard work that players are doing. And this isn't just at the champion program, but also for the community initiatives as well. Now, we also got this interesting post. I call it interesting because it was kind of like I wasn't expecting to see a post talking about building or why we build here, but I find the topic quite interesting. So, my personal experience with being one of the leaders of the Golden Company and how we're building the Golden City, for example, it's kind of different than a lot of other groups typically build. And what I mean by that is no one in the Golden Company really is building their own thing on their own plot. Everyone piles their plots into one giant blob, which we call the Golden City. And we've spent a lot of time, like thousands and thousands of hours at this point, planning the city out, putting things in certain places, where and how they get built. And we're not only working as members of the Golden Company in building the Golden City, but we're also collaborating with groups, and we call these neighborhoods. So we have several different groups that are also in the Golden City, and all of those different groups are also connected to that giant blob as well. And a lot of the times they're completely enveloped by the Golden Company's plots, and they are perfectly brought into the city. So we have many examples of that. If you watched our video from earlier this week, where we talked about the first concert that was ever held in Pax Dei, a live concert, we held it in the community, the Golden City's community Discord for all of the players that are in the region surrounding Rets on Sif. Players were able to join that server and listen in, as well as attend in game the concert. That was a performance by Battle Gear, one of the members of the community. And that in particular, we're not only just building the city, but we're building the structure for a community to exist as well. And we're specifically choosing to also include other groups in that city design and make it all this giant uniform thing. So we have so many different groups that have been participating with how that is, and we're always looking to expand and bring more in and continue to grow the city. But why do we build? That is a question, and I think Pax Dei really captures the essence. I mean, if you ask anyone who is playing in Pax Dei, when you want to describe the game, what is the first thing that you actually choose to describe about Pax Dei? Well, I think a lot of people would physically be like the only thing that they could really mention as like the top, the peak is the building system. And that's something that Mainframe has really just hit the nail on the head with, in terms of really locking down how that system works and how players build. And the amount of detail that we can get with building. I mean, even if we look down here at some of the various builds that have been featured in this specific post, I mean, these are intricate pieces. I mean, we have a whole dragon here guarding the various chests with its claws actually covering over one. And we have whole boats that have been placed with canvases and everything. And the amount of creativeness that the community shows with building is one thing, but then also I think more and more people are starting to learn that building with others and building not only a building, but a community around the building is the important thing. And in a nutshell, that's what Pax Dei is you're building. It's a social MMO. You're building not only buildings, but building community. And that's what I find so interesting, and how that collaboration is happening is something that I look really, really forward to. I know there's also a lot of features that can go into building and building out a community that the developers have mentioned that they're working on. I mean, just the ability to share between plots or share individual permissions. One of the coolest things that could happen in the future is the ability to have specific players that end up on a whitelist, or having a clan be able to have the clan leader manage all of the plots in a build, rather than having people just kind of connect the dots between. Why are these things important? Well, these types of features enable us to continue to collaborate and build in ways that otherwise we wouldn't be able to. Having a whitelist on plots that a clan leader could manage means that you could have a solo player that's walking in, and maybe they want to set up or be set up in an inn. Well, being able to give them permissions to access a specific door, or to be able to build on a specific plot, that is incredibly important for us to be able to continue to build out these communities and build in certain ways. So I think it's great, actually, that we talk about building, and that we talk about how important it is, and how building these things are not only a natural thing for us as people, but it's an important aspect to what makes Pax Dei the essence of Pax Dei. Like, if you had to describe it in one sentence, what Pax Dei was, I right now would say Pax Dei is a game about building communities and building buildings around those communities, and that's it. That's in the essence what it is. Obviously, in the future, that's going to change with the addition of things like more intricate PvP systems, religious systems, and all of that. And I think it'll continue to shift more and more towards it's a game about community, and a game about the social dynamics of those communities. But for the time being, I think it's primarily just a game about building things, communities, buildings, and everything around them. So that's pretty much all that we had for this week. I'd be really interested to hear in the comments down below what you all have really enjoyed about the game so far. How would you describe Pax Dei in a single sentence? That, I think, would be a really cool thing to see in the comments down below. But like I said, next week we are going to have more information from Mainframe about verse 5. I'm looking forward to covering all of that, and I hope all of you are too. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe so you get notified whenever we come out with new Pax Dei or Pax Dei related content, and share with any of your friends who are looking to stay up to date with all things Pax Dei. Until the next video, I'm Altari, the Professional Gamer.